Alright, so just a couple quick stories on bountyintocomics.com. First one is Marvel Studios promotes executives who believes the X-Men name is outdated. Talking about Victoria Alonso. They just recently promoted her to be the new president of physical, post-production, VFX, and animation. Basically, she'll, as Deadline reports, she'll oversee the divisions across the studio's slate of films and series and continue to report to Marvel Studios co-president Luis D'Esposito. Victoria's been an incredible partner, part of our team since the very first Iron Man. Kevin Feige commented about all this kind of bullshit. Just your typical business stuff. The quote in question comes from, let's go down here a little bit. She also, just where she was praising, the MCU and all that kind of shit. And goes through some of her history. Here is the quote. June 2019. Speaking to Nuke the Fridge, she claimed the team's name is outdated. I don't know where the future is going. It's funny that people call it the X-Men. There's a lot of female superheroes in that X-Men group, so I think it's outdated. I don't know where it's going to go. This is before the Dark Phoenix came out. We'll see. They just now joined. They have a movie, Dark Phoenix, coming out soon, which under that banner is their last film, so we'll see what time will tell. Well, that movie sucked. It was terrible. I actually watched part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was just so fucking bad. I didn't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. But look, you can sit here and argue, well, X-Men, it should be X-people or whatever, which just sounds really stupid. But at the same time, I suppose when you first heard X-Men, you might think, oh, that's stupid too. I don't know. Yeah, it depends. Because, at a certain point in time, it's like you grow up with something and it sounds cool, it sounds good, it sounds okay at worst. Like Batman. You hear Batman and you're like, okay, that sounds cool, it sounds good. What about Catman? What about Dogman? All that kind of stuff. You'd be like, man, those are stupid names. Now some people might, other people might not have a problem with it. But there'd be people who'd be like, that's a stupid name. But Batman is okay because you're used to it. Same kind of thing. The name X-Men, it has a cachet to it. It has a value to it. To get rid of it would just be stupid. It would be idiotic. You don't change the name if it's this well known. Anyway, the second story is Kelly Sue DeConnick laments the abysmal state of comics after telling people not to buy her books. Former Captain Marvel writer Kelly Sue DeConnick lamented the state of the comic book industry after previously telling people not to buy her books. That's her. You probably have seen the clips and stuff. But she spoke to Sci-Fi Wire back in October 2017, where she stated, "And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book." Later in the interview, she added, "I'm going to make the book that I'm going to make, and if you don't want to read them, don't read them." You've probably seen this clip numerous times. So, But anyway, in a recently discovered interview from 2019 with YouTube channel Nerd News with Destiny, DeConnick lamented the state of the comic book industry. DeConnick and her husband Matt Fraction were asked, did you think comics would be this sort of phenomenon that it is currently? And she's like, boy, that's hard, because from our perspective, the industry is contracted and we're very worried about comics right now. So it's always interesting to me that the outside perspective is always, comics are booming. Well, who the hell is saying that? What are you, dope? But anyway, and then it goes on and talks a little more and stuff about things, but it's like, well, here's the thing. If if you treat customers like fools, if you treat them, with such dismissive, just petulance and stuff, saying, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. I'm going to make a book I want. Don't buy it. Blah, blah. And then don't turn around and be surprised when they don't buy your book. Because number one, she's not a very good writer. But more importantly, when you talk to people that way, it comes back and bites you in the ass. It never, ever works out to insult your audience. Everybody has this idea that I'm going to be Howard Stern. I'm going to be maybe Don Rickles. I'm trying to think of how many actual entities and whatever it is. Whatever projects insult their fan base. Everybody has this idea that they're going to be, I'm going to be the shock jock type, and zing, I'm going to be zinging everybody and telling them to shut the fuck up. And then it's going to work out for me great. And it never works out that way for them. They always sit there and say, well, hey, don't buy my book. And they're like, well, why didn't you buy my book? Or something like that. And it's ridiculous. These people are idiots. You treat customers bad or potential customers bad, it's going to blow up in your face. Anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.